Today is not a good day to be a pirate. For those of you who haven't heard, the collapse of the cryptocurrency markets around the globe has begun to accelerate, and accelerate in a way that virtually nobody predicted. This channel, a little over 5 weeks ago, started counseling people to get out of these cryptocurrency markets. They were going to fail. History is going to record this as one of the most bizarre and devastating, destructive events in world financial history. People in the future are going to look back and wonder how so many people fell for this game. Why couldn't they see what was going to happen when people started pirating actual currencies and hiding income and hiding criminal behavior? Now, for those of you who haven't seen this, it is now at 38 and falling. Just before Christmas, it was over 50. To put this in perspective, just since Christmas, Bitcoin has lost a quarter of its value. They're going to try to tell you this is a normal fluctuation. Is that normal for an investment? To lose out of nowhere a quarter of its value in about a month? And it's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse very quickly. Now, some might say, Florida Maki, how did you know this was going to happen? It has to do with the psychology of a pirate. It has to do with the techniques they were using to sell it. They used sanitized terms like decentralized or democratized currencies. Well, that's exactly what happened in the series Black Sails. That's why I began recommending my audience watch this series, because it's all in there. This has all been done before. The entire premise of the 4 seasons was they stole a bunch of actual currency from the Spanish, and they were going to try to make a pirate colony out of it, which is literally what cryptocurrency is. They're taking fiat currency, things that they say to everyone don't have any value, and then they pump up their own currencies like black pearls and whatever else. And they don't think there's going to be any repercussions from it. The real psychology, though, of the pirate, we are teaching over at Patreon. If you would like to get read in, if you would like to be able to see these things coming, join us over there. It is $1 an actual currency, by the way, per month, not per week, not per video. It's even less than that if you sign up for an entire year. It's like 90 cents, and unlike cryptocurrency, you can direct message me over there and say, Florida Maki, I watched all your stuff and I just don't think it's worth my US dollar. May I have a refund? Of course. Absolutely. No questions asked. I've done it for many. We've been able to partner with Vimeo to do this. There are so many logical fallacies and cognitive biases that have trapped these pirates in one way of thinking. It's almost impossible to cover them all in one video, but let's go over a few of them. Sunk cost fallacy. You irrationally cling to things that have already cost you something. People have dumped a bunch of money into it. Confirmation bias. You look for ways to justify your existing beliefs. They will search anything positive about crypto, especially the losses in the past, to try to say that things are going to be better in the future. Availability heuristic. Your judgments are influenced by what springs most easily to mind. All of the people who got rich real fast. And it goes on. And the last one, self-serving bias. You believe your failures are due to external factors, yet your successes are your own. Meaning, of course, that if crypto were to fail, it's all of these external forces. It wasn't the idea of crypto, but when crypto succeeds, it's not external forces. It's just the idea was really good. That's, borderline insanity. But once again, join us over Patreon and we'll get into this a lot deeper. Now, before I forget, I would like to say congratulations and send our best, most heartfelt wishes out to Governor DeSantis, his family, his wife, she just made it through her final chemo treatment, and it seems like everything is going to be fine, and she will have beaten cancer. So keep them, of course, in your prayers. Pardon me there for 1 minute. But more into the psychology of the pirates and why so many fell for this. This happened before. The pirates of New Providence Island, the ones that were covered in the series Black Sails, the West Indies, threaten maritime trade in the region. The laws of every civilized nation declare them hostis humani generis, enemies of all mankind. In response, the pirates adhere to a doctrine of their own, war against the world. You see, this is this romanticized notion of anarchy and how sexy people think it is, how cool it is, and forward-thinking and future-driven, and it's not. It's just a different tool. It's just a different tool. They took accepted currencies, like Spanish gold, and because it had value, they took it from a Spanish ship, and then they decided they were going to make their own little thing in Nassau. Those of you who've seen it know what I'm talking about. You see, dealing then with pirates was banned, just like Russia is banning cryptocurrency. China has already banned cryptocurrency. India, Indonesia, Eastern Europe, they're seizing the rigs. They're putting people in jail. And they're starting to look at bank accounts. This is exactly what they did. And what were they involved in? Pillage, sex trafficking, drugs, which is exactly what was the driver behind Bitcoin. See, they like to put a pretty face on it and say it's about democracy and decentralization and all that. No. If it was about that, they wouldn't ask for your dollars, meaning buy the dip. Notice they never say mine the dip. They always say buy the dip, meaning give us more of your dollars now, and then when it goes down again, give us more of your dollars then, and then when it dips again, give us yet even more of your dollars. See what they're doing? See what they're doing? Governments around the world have woken up, and just like in Black Sails, not to kick a dead horse, they eventually came for Nassau, and they came in force. And they ended all the nonsense. You see, real things are going to have value. Currencies are going to go away. People are going to hang on to real things. Home prices shatter records. This is, of course, CNN, but it's the truth. Real things are going to have actual value, and people are going to lose faith in currencies, generally speaking, because of this. The future is going to be bartering. The future is going to be bartering. And that's going to be the reality. See, the crypto pirates thought they could kind of weasel their way in here and be some kind of decentralized way so you didn't have to use the dollar, the yen, the ruble, the peso, whatever. It never works. It never works. Now, city girls seem to find out early how to open doors with just a smile. And this is related. Nikki Fried, here in Florida, the woman that's trying to unseat Governor DeSantis, is wildly misguided, but she's a sharp cookie. She's a smart woman. And she's figured something out. She stumbled backwards into something that's going to be a real threat to the governor. I'm sure a lot of people are shaking their heads. Governor DeSantis, are you kidding? He's super popular. Everybody's going to vote for him. Yeah, right now. But something's coming. She's realized something. She has figured something out. You see, the reason Governor DeSantis has been wildly popular over the last year or two is because he's been seen as the leader of the underdog Florida. fighting against the evil tyrant DC and pushing back. We see Nikki Fried, smart girl, she learned from Governor DeSantis. I need to find a group of people that see themselves as underdogs. So you know who she's going for? Sex workers and drug addicts. And she's going to promise freedom and liberty from the evil tyrants in Tallahassee that would take away your freedom or take away your money for buying and selling drugs and engaging in prostitution. She's going to offer freedom and amnesty and letting people out of prison. And make no mistake, she knows the power of this. In one day, with her little tank top and American flag bikini, in one day, she raised 13 grand just for a couple of selfies. Think about that. And this has already been the case in New York. I made this allegation a long time ago that this was coming. It used to be that prostitution, when people talked about it being illegal, they always made it John-centric. Oh, those horrible men. I can't believe they're victimizing the women that way. That's terrible. We can't let the men get away with this. Well, some people made the arguments like, this isn't really a crime that has a victim because there wouldn't be an opportunity if there wasn't an offer. It's offer and acceptance. NPR.org, a relic, and burdened Manhattan District Attorney to stop prosecuting prostitution. See, they're not going to legalize it. They're just going to stop prosecuting it. Meaning they can selectively prosecute it if they ever want to, and they don't have to push it through the courts. And they don't have to push it through the Congress. They don't need the vote. They're just going to say, we're going to stop prosecuting it. Now, here's another allegation that's going to blow your mind. Nikki Fried and the former president, they have a lot in common right now. You see, former President Trump last week said it was gutless for politicians to avoid answering the question. And Nikki Fried calls Governor Ron DeSantis for not answering personal medical questions when confronted by reporters. You see, she's realized how to play the game. And oh, what a difference a year can make. And when you scroll down her Twitter, you can see that she's pandering. As governor, I'll work to make sure your rent isn't too damn high. I wonder who she's talking to there. And down here, it gets even better. See here, she's like, this is a problem. They're not going to embarrass Ron DeSantis, one current GOP legislator told Politico, noting the governor is essentially the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. See, she's going to try to paint DeSantis like Biden. And here's the icing on that cake. There was this guy out of Louisiana who did a campaign ad while he was lighting up marijuana. And the first thing Nikki Fried did, offer to sit down and burn one down with him if she's ever in Louisiana or he's ever here. See, city girls seem to find out early how to open doors with just a smile. Many are saying, but Florida Maquis in Florida, that's illegal. That's illegal. What happens in Florida when people start pulling their money out of the crypto markets as they collapse, and all of a sudden all of this cash shows back up, and our Attorney General starts looking at this and going, wait a minute, where are all these millions of dollars coming from? And they start looking at transactions, and they start putting two and two together, and we start putting people in jail. All of a sudden, people are going to see Florida as the land of tyrants. A quote from our governor: "People are so sick of constantly being bossed around, restricted, mandated. It's important to speak up for people's individual rights to make decisions for themselves." Well, you see, she's going to figure out who to confront about certain things. Shouldn't women have a right to make an income and earn a living however they see fit? Isn't that liberty, Governor? Isn't that freedom? Who's really the victim here? You see, you can't explain in a 30-second soundbite why allowing pirate currencies to run unchecked, why allowing people to sell and deal drugs, fentanyl, meth, marijuana, all this kind of stuff unchecked in society, and why you just can't let prostitution run rampant in society. You see, you can't answer that in a 30-second soundbite. And she's figured this out. She's figured this out, and this is the game she's going to play. She's going to offer to let people get as baked as they want and pay for as much you-know-what as they want. And call it liberty. And call it freedom. And call it everything that allegedly Governor DeSantis said Florida was this last 3 years. See, she's a smart one. I'm not saying it's going to work, but this is going to be her tactic. Get out of the crypto markets if you're still in. It's not going to end well for you. Like all pirates, for a time, things seem great. But when the time comes to pay the piper, they're going to leave you hanging. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.